Hey folks, Malforian here, and welcome back to the channel. Yes, yesterday I said I wasn't going to make a video for each one of these teaser images, but guess what? I lied, and here we are once again today. Hit that like button if you enjoy it, if you enjoy the mystery and us trying to figure it out in the comments yesterday. Thank you very much for everyone who commented. There were some good ideas in there, some good suggestions, so we're going to be able to see if we were on the right track or not. Probably as we go through these days, more and more, we'll get a better idea. But yeah, I wasn't going to make a video today, but obviously today's, as you can see on the screen, is based around Crusader Kings 3. That should have been obvious yesterday when I made the other video, that they would theme the teaser images around the games that were listed. It didn't really occur to me for some reason, but it makes a lot of sense. But I think it does maybe skew us a little bit away from it being a Civilization-themed game. And it could be, and we'll get to that at the end of the video today. So the first image we had yesterday was the dawn rises on the beginning of human society, and it was the first civilization. It was showing like Neanderthal man looking on at a village, basically showing the start of civilization in the world. And then today's was about Crusader Kings 3, basically. It was on their Twitter, and it was an image that looked very much like the Middle Ages and Crusader Kings, and people bowed to the reign of king and queens. Now, why this makes me think maybe it's not going to be a Civilization kind of eras game is I would have thought they would have had Imperial Rome in the middle, because you could have gone from like Bronze Age to the Romans to Crusader Kings, Europa, Victoria 3, Hearts of Iron, Stellaris, and then said, this is a game that encompasses all these time periods or something like that. Now, the fact they jumped straight to Crusader Kings, and they are going to link, it looks like, to the games that are listed. They're not going to be just images not related to those titles, just posted on those Twitter accounts to get the hype going. It looks like they are going to be themed around those games. So the next one, obviously, is Age of Wonders 4. Now, if you're not aware of what Age of Wonders 4 is, it's a great game, but it is mythological. It has got dragons in it, it's got ogres. Now, I don't think we're going to see those in this title, let's be honest. I think this is going to be a historical title of some kind. So I think what they're going to use tomorrow's for is something like the Age of Wonders, as in like Stonehenge, the Taj Mahal, the pyramids. Think of those wonders you can build in Civilization, and I think it's going to be towards that. So people bowed before the reigns of king and queens. They then built wonders in this world or something like that. EU4 is the day after. Now we think they're going to be themed around these games, so that could be, and the world started to go to war or something, because obviously EU4 is about the Napoleonic era and things like that, kind of how the world started to battle each other, especially in Europe, obviously, around where it is mainly focused, if we're being honest. And then Victoria 3, but then the world embraced trade and society or something. Hearts of Iron 4, people fell into destruction, obviously all about the war. And then Stellaris, and then mankind went to the stars. And then that would be the final one. And then on the 22nd, we're obviously going to get the announcement of the game, as we discussed yesterday. Now, what this makes me think is, and this is basically like a counterpoint to yesterday's, where I thought it was going to be a Civilization-esque game, I actually think it could be the first image, and we could be getting a up to Bronze Age style game, and you basically go from, the start of Civilization up to the Bronze Age. We did mention this yesterday a little bit, and you could have like the Bronze Age collapse as like the end game, and then you would have another game that isn't listed on here, which again makes me think this isn't going to be a full eras game, is Imperial Rome. You would have then at Paradox the Bronze Age kind of and before game. You would have Imperial Rome. I know they don't like talking about it. I guess that's why it's not on this image, because it would make sense, the jump from the first civilizations, then you could have Imperial Rome, and then you could have CK3. The fact that it jumped so much, I think they would have included it if it was a Civilization game. I know they don't seem to like talking about Imperial Rome. I don't know why. It's a fantastic game. If you've not played it, do play it, especially if you can buy it cheap. And then after that, you obviously have Crusader Kings 3, EU4, Victoria 3, Hearts of Iron, and then up to Stellaris. And then I think for the launch video, or the teaser video that we'll get, I think it will have this new, like, pre-Civilization game title, and at the end, it will be play the course of history at Paradox, or something like that, because you have basically a game that covers nearly every major, or what people think of as the major eras in mankind. You would have, the pre-Civilization, the Romans, the Middle Ages, EU4 time period, Victoria 3, Hearts of Iron, Stellaris, and I have skipped one there, and this is the one that I think some people have said this could be, and that is obviously a Cold War / build up to the space race kind of game. Now, if I'm being honest, I don't think that's what it's going to be. Why? Because I just don't think that would be a good game personally. Like, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I just think a Cold War game would be kind of boring and just not interesting in some way. I'm not sure, like, how could you do it in such a way that would be interesting no matter where you played in the world, unless they focused it specifically on the great powers, which I just don't see them doing personally. And then you could have it build up to the space race, but even then, like, there's what, like 5 countries or something that could theoretically build a spacecraft in that time frame, and I just don't think that's a interesting game. I don't think it's going to be that, so I think it is going to be the first image. I think it's going to circle back to the first image, and it's going to be, can you survive the Bronze Age collapse? And maybe you could play as the people that a lot of people, you know, the Sea People, I think it's called, that a lot of the theories are about they came in and kind of ravaged everything, and that's why it all fell apart. You could play as them, or you could play, obviously, as, like, Egypt and all the other races around that area, around the Mediterranean, and you could, you know, build up to that from kind of early civilization all the way up to then, and then you would kind of play that out, and then after that, you would play in Imperial Rome as the next kind of great era in that part of the world, and then, as I've said, everything else kind of follows in after that. So there we go, guys. That's today's theory from Malforian. Let me know if I'm crazy in the comments down below, but hit that like button either way because it helps other people find the video and the channel in the future. We'll see tomorrow, I guess, because Age of Wonders, it's either going to be, as I said, like some kind of wonders set in the real world. If it's an image and it's like dragons and stuff, then it's all up in the air and it could be anything. Like, it could literally be anything. Like, if it gets to that point, then I'm just waiting till the 22nd and seeing what happens. But I really do think it's going to be a spoiler in regards to, like, and the world built wonders or something like that. I think it's going to tie in. I think they're doing it just because Age of Wonders is kind of one of their more recent releases, and they just want to get a bit of hype kind of going across to that title as well. But anyway, we'll leave it there for today. I might be back tomorrow. I'm not going to say I won't be because I said that yesterday. And I just like this. I just like trying to figure out what the title's going to be. And as we get through more and more of these images, the better and better idea we're going to have, I think, of what it's going to be, or lead us at least towards one or the other. Yesterday, I really thought it was going to be a Civilization title. Today, I'm not too sure, as I said. I think it could lean towards the first one, that Paradox icon just being replaced by some kind of, you know, Bronze Age game icon or something like that. So anyway, we'll leave it there for today. I'll see you in the next one.